We know when Mahaprabhu's, after taking sannyas, Kahan Krishna Prananath Murli Vadan, Kahan Karun, Kahan Pan Brajendra Nandan. He's like madly searching for Krishna. Gurvan said, in a childlike mentality. Remember, he has 3 stages. The so-called external consciousness, which does not mean external consciousness as we know it, just means maintaining some awareness of what's going on in the external world. Half internal, half external, and totally internal. So he's wandering and gopi bhav in internal consciousness. And gradually, the word is out. And remember, gods and goddesses have descended and others. There's like 100,000 people following him. He's in ecstatic condition. Sometimes it appears that the Ganga is shooting out of his eyes, those type of tears. He's falling to the ground sometimes 100 times an hour, stunned, shivering, all the, asta sattvika vikara, the 8 different symptoms of ecstatic love, sometimes manifesting all at once. So 100,000 people are following him. And Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, they're still incognito as government officers and advisors to the Nawab, the head Muslim, who asked Rupa Goswami, who do you think this person is? He's got 100,000 people following him, and they're not like being paid. And Rupa Goswami first tells him, well, there are different ways to understand who he is and what he represents in terms of the scriptures and in terms of the ecstatic symptoms and condition he's exhibiting. He said, but you're God's representative. So why don't you ask yourself, in the deep heart's core, ask yourself, who do you think he is? And he responds by saying, in this context, he said, I think what was described in the Quran as the Supreme Lord, he's that who's descended. So in his own way, he could perceive something. So, that was a wave. Mahaprabhu's South Indian tour was a wave. When he went into the Jarikhanda forest, and the elephants and tigers danced. Guru was saying, his vibration of Krishna Nam was so fine that, remember, their souls, tamasa bahurupena vestita karmahetana. A tiger is the dress of Jivatma, and a particular passionate dress, where the mode of passion is very strong, right? Out of the combination of the 3. So it's a very dense covering. But and as is an elephant, the body of an elephant, Jivatma, animating the little flies, what we have here, those ones that live for one day. Does anyone know the name? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. They look like ants with wings. So Jivatma animating that body, animating the body of a tiger, animating the body of an elephant. So it's a very dense covering of consciousness. And Mahaprabhu's Krishna Nam penetrated all the coverings and touched their Atma, so that the Atma, being situated in its original position, even still in a tiger body, elephant body, they start chanting and dancing. They're singing. We're here. The elephants are screaming in ecstasy. You see, like banging, right? In India, when they still have elephants roaming, and then I think they have them here.
Yes.
Like right, not in our neighbor, not in this Mubon.
No, in
But-
Hawaii, they have
Right.
some elephants.
I mean, wild elephants who just like, they run around in a herd. So in Bengal, there are places where, you've seen like the rice fields, there are places where they make beer out in the open. I don't know if I should tell this to Russian people, but but you understand what I'm saying? They have these big tanks where they're making beer, not in a big, metal tower, but out in a field. There's some way they ferment and make beer, right? So sometimes a group of elephants will come in and they'll drink all the beer. Then it's like Moscow. No, they go crazy. They just start tearing down, like a group of drunk elephants go to a village and just start trashing the place, right? Because they're intoxicated. So just imagine when Mahaprabhu goes to Jharikanda and he's intoxicating them with Krishna Nam, you've got elephants screaming in ecstasy, tigers dancing and chanting Krishna Nam. And Mahaprabhu's assistant, his mind is being blown. He's seeing all of this and observing this. So later, Guru Maharaj would say, some of the devotees, when they'd meet Mahaprabhu, they'd say, I heard about your Jharikanda campaign. And that was like without trying. He's just lost in his own madness. So much so that when there was a sleeping tiger, he did like Jeev Jago, like smacked him on the finger. Like, the tiger wakes up, Mahaprabhu, get up, Hare Krishna. And the tiger jumped up and started dancing because his assistant thought, oh my God, now he's like slapping sleeping tigers. But the tiger got up and started madly singing and dancing. That's another wave. Hare Krishna.